All right, next up under the tool menu, we've got synthesis. We're going to take a look at DTMF/MF tones, FM, and simple synthesis. You actually have the ability within SoundForge to create sounds from scratch. And there's a bunch of really cool presets and also some kind of very unusual stuff. So let's dive in and take a look. All right, I've got a blank file opened up here. Nothing's in it. Got a just want to be, because we're going to be able to generate some stuff here. So go up to Tools, Synthesis. First thing you see is DTMF-MF tones. And like the little icon kind of implies there, it's phone tones. It's like numbers and symbols and stuff that are on phones. And you can enter in what, character or, star or pound sign or whatever you want to generate. Don't know what the difference is between DTMF and MF, to be honest with you. You have, the amplitude of the signal, the tone strength, the break length, et cetera, et cetera. Frankly, word is that Sony built this in because evidently there are a lot of people within the telephone industry that use this particular piece of software. Asked for this feature because they can create tones that can then use with, test mechanisms and to test lines and to do various things. I suppose if you wanted to, you could even pre-record these tones and create automatic dials and stuff like that. So, like with the dial string that's in there right now, if I hit OK, this is what I get. Yeah, okay. Perhaps maybe you could use that in some song someplace. I mean, I have heard it as a sample in background things for certain songs through the years, and so I suppose it would be usable there. But unless you happen to be working in the phone industry, I don't know how much practical that is for the average Joe. So, but that's what it is. Next up on the synthesis, I'm going to jump down to the simple first, and we'll take a look at that. Basically, it's allowing us to basically just create a simple sound. We've got a sine waveform, absolute sine, square, choose the amplitude of it, the length of it, of the particular tone, start frequency, or I could make this much higher, let's say. So it's basically the simple synthesis tool is literally what it says. It's a way of just creating very simple artificially synthesized sounds. There are some presets in here. You've got a 1 kilohertz sync tone, which is good. If you need to put that on a thing. 440 hertz cycle tone, as well as middle C. So if you need that for reference, like it says, so it gives you the duration of the sample and stuff. So I mean, it's useful, and you can do some nice things with it. In the presets, I actually have used the 1 kilohertz sync tone in many instances to drop into tracks where somebody needed to have a reference tone, for calibration purposes. Last up is the FM synthesis. Now, FM is just going to be a more complex way of being able to synthesize, and because you have a lot more control over what you're doing and you have a lot more parameters. So right now I've just got a tone that's kind of oscillating here. And choose the different shapes of it, the frequency, feedback, and then more importantly the configuration. Right now it's just 1. You can hear now that there's 3 overtones. There's 3 stacked. There's 2 stacked and 3 contiguous. And here's 4. There's another configuration of 4. So you have a lot of control over how you're altering the signal and even more control with. And again, as usual with anything that has control points that you can move around, you have set to max, set to default, set to a specific location, delete it, and all the various different kinds of effects you can do in between the points, flip all the points, etc., etc. A very powerful tool. You can actually create some really interesting, cool sounds with it. There's a bunch that comes with it. It's got like some test sweeps, for example. Very low to high, more middle to high end, and something here where like you're going to really test your hearing and your dog's hearing as well too. You've got other synthesized tones that are in here. There's the mothership coming in for a landing. Yeah, you get the idea. I mean, you can definitely have some fun starting with some of the presets and then modifying them to be your own kind of thing. Yeah, that's a red alert for sure. So the other cool thing about this is that with not only the presets, but things that you want to, say, modify on your own, and you get your own generated, sound, then you take it into the acoustic mirror tool, and like we looked at earlier, you apply it there, and you can get some really cool stuff going on. So just another way of being able to use that tool as well and get some cool stuff going on.